Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Magical Monday Musing for the week of April 27th, 2015. So how did everyone do last week with our very huge energy cards of responsibility in our two different decks that we worked with? As we always do every Monday, we had in the Wildwood Tarot responsibility in the Ten of Bows, and in the Rider-Waite deck we had the Ten of Wands. So just did of course hear from a number of you about how that card was playing out in your lives, and some fascinating comments. For me, it definitely was about looking after the tribe. As some of you know, with our school vacation here in Massachusetts last week, our family traveled to some different colleges, so we're starting the college search process with Nico, and very much felt the energy of these cards with us as we were looking after the tribe and feeling that sense of responsibility. And it is definitely a long road, as any of you know who have gone to college or have kids who have, or in the same boat as I am and my husband, of preparing our child for this next leg of life. And I also had a real sense of it having to do with not only the responsibility of the tribe, but each member within the tribe too. So how that might have played out for you as well, and your role within your tribe or your community, and how you're feeling with the sense of responsibility. You know, we talked about last week how that can feel burdensome, and also there are times where it feels like an entrustment that is a real honor and gift to have that bestowed upon us. So I know that this card is going to be one that'll be in kind of on the back burner for some time to come, because through it, I'm thinking about what happens after Nico goes to school, which I have been for some time now, but really some brand new energies with moving out of the Hobbit house and into the Little House, and energies that I haven't felt in myself for a really long time have started to make themselves known again. So sort of different parts of the personality are wanting to express, which is exciting, and the word that seems to be defining this period of time now more than anything else is adventure. So not too much I can say about it, but there are definitely some new just adventures that want to be given life to, ones that are very much in my thoughts and wanting to come to life. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with those down the road. And I hope that maybe you've had some similar experiences that are enlivening and awakening you. And that is kind of a theme running into this week's cards, which we'll talk about after our meditation. But we're definitely working with a beautiful energy this week, one that I think a number of you in our Circle Magica community are going to really welcome and look forward to engaging with, because it's like literally like a fresh breath of air after working with the really strong and serious energies of responsibility last week. So why don't we plunge into switching our gears into meditation, so we can get ourselves primed and ready to really receive from some very welcome and warming and wonderful archetypes and energies from both the decks this week. Okay, so I invite you as always to settle in now and bring yourself into your physical comfort, in whether that is a sitting or a reclining position, and allow yourself to take 3 deep breaths in and out at your own pace. Just breathing naturally and deeply in whatever way feels comfortable to you, whether that would be in through the nose, out through the nose, in through the nose, out through the breath, out through the mouth, or out through the breath and in with the breath of the mouth. So whatever is comfortable to you. And of course, we know that the breath helps us to arrive in the moment, helps us to become more fully present in the activity that we're participating in with this meditation. And as always, I encourage you to give yourself thanks for making this time, for coming together with the rest of the members of the community to work with these cards in your spiritual process, your unfoldment of your everyday life and of your inner life, which are inseparable. And so as you allow each breath to bring you deeper into your sense of this moment awareness, allow yourself also to be made more aware of your physical body and where maybe your legs or your hips or your back are meeting with either a chair or whatever surface that you're choosing to recline on. And just noticing how that feels. Feeling that concrete distinction between you and that surface. All the while letting the breath deepen you into this moment. And of course, as we know, we can't stop thoughts, but we can allow them to move across our mind's eye without needing to cling or evaluate or investigate. For this meditation, just let your thoughts drift across your mind's eye like a cloud on a sunny summer afternoon. Just notice as thoughts come and thoughts go, but feeling no attachment or need to follow them out of this moment. Just settling in, relaxing and letting go. No need to think about where you're going after your meditation or after our time together or what you're doing. Just knowing that you've created this opportunity to come into sacred space for this brief time, to relax, to renew, to learn, to set intentions for the week about how you'd like to live and be. So give yourself that opportunity now to set an intention or two here on this Monday morning about how you would like to show up for yourself and others in your daily life. And at this time, we're also going to invite in the grounded presence of the earth to support this work. We're inviting in the lower and middle and upper worlds and all of the guardians and guides and spirit allies that work with us from those realms. Calling on our ancestors and loved ones and friends in spirit who wish to contribute in a positive way to our sitting this morning. Calling on angelic and masters, star and sky beings. Calling on our own inner and deep wisdom. Asking that the intentions that we set would be recognized and honored and served with the help of all of these influences that guide us each week in our lives. And lastly, we call on the archetypes, the personalities, and the energies, the numbers of the cards that we work with this week. Letting them be a blessing and teaching, instructors of earthly magics that we can participate in. And so giving thanks to ourselves and to this community, we come back to the present moment to begin our work together. And so mote it be. So today, I have collectively chosen for us, as you know, I tune into the collective of who's going to meet on Monday and ask for the cards that will serve us best. And interestingly enough, we're going to continue to work with the energy of 10. But it is, I'll explain, we've chosen actually a major arcana card, number 19, the Sun, or the Sun of Life. In the Wildwood Tarot, it's described as the Sun of Life, and in the Rider-Waite Tarot, it's called the Sun. But it's number 19, and as you know, I like to talk a little bit about numbers before we talk about the archetypes and the personalities of the cards. So in numerology, the 19 would break down to 1 plus 9, which equals 10, which equals exactly the number we were working with from last week, or one in itself, which is what we talked about last week with the tens is the beginning and the ending, the culmination of a higher achievement, higher maturity and awareness. So with the sun, we're getting a wonderful opportunity to experience that radiance and warmth of a major arcana card, and one that has a lot of my sense is for our community this week, it's a really welcome card, like taking a breather after, again, we seem to go back and forth and integrating in some hard work, and then a week of regeneration and rebuilding, if you will, and being uplifted and taken to a higher place that for some of us, although the solar energy of the sun is one that's very masculine and activating, as those of you that have ever laid out on a beach on a summer day, you know how lulling and warming and relaxing it can be too. So we're going to be working with merging energies. The Wildwood card, the Sun of Life, shows a really radiant, full of life figure with this beam of light coming right from the heart, and in the background, this gorgeous illuminating sun, and lots of growth and flowers blooming and activity around this person in the card. And so we are being allowed to work with this vibrancy, and in so many metaphors and beautiful images and energies to pull from this week with the sun. So we know that we're dealing with revitalization and the sun that illuminates and gives life to things. And for a number of us this week feels to me like being able to really shine and be that warmth and that sun. And I feel as though there are some of us just kind of switching into intuitive mode a little bit that really need to remember the sun, our inner sun, and really remember, and sometimes this will come through others reminding us, as this is often the case, or from it being something that we actually have others, as a result of something we've done, comment or speak about this whole idea of our inner radiance. And sometimes, especially with having that heavy card last week, or the responsibility card, sometimes it could feel a little bit like a chore or something you sort of have to plod through. Remember the card with in the Wildwood card, the Ten of Bows, how this person had to move their way up that steep hill, and it speaks to the dedication to the hard work. But this week with the sun, we have this wonderful opportunity to bask in our glow, to be that inner sunshine for ourselves, and remember those things that are really wonderful about us that we might forget from time to time because of external circumstances or whatever shadow tape that we're running at the moment that might completely cover over, that, like clouds on that sunny day, where it masks that brilliance that's there. Even though it's certainly there, we can forget about it. So I feel like there are some of you in our Magica community, Circle Magica community this week, that are really going to be reminded of the sunshine that you are. People might even call you sunshine. Hey, sunshine, something like that, or something about the light. You might even be named that or called that because of how you make somebody else feel this week. The Rider-Waite card, the sun, the images of the really speaks to the blending of the masculine and feminine energies. You'll see sort of a wavy beam of sunlight, and then straight wave of sunlight that's symbolic of the masculine and feminine energies. And you also see the product of the blending of the energies, which is the baby on the horse, that new birth, and remembering our inner child. And that nature is part of this week's opportunity too. So we have this chance to be with ourselves in a new regard, to remind ourselves. And so switching fully into intuitive mode this week, I want to say that there's definitely the need for some of us to play more, to embrace the inner child, to know that for some of us, we've been too burdened, in such a heavy place. And now it's time to literally, bask in the sun. And I mean, get out into the sun while you can, get that vitamin D. Look at the results of what happens. It's so poignant and apparent this time of year, what the sun can do. And remembering that you too, it speaks to the inner fertility that's within you, and how it can produce and create metamorphosis and transformation. So who among our ranks this week is that flipping switches for, as I say it? That which is within you has the ability to act like a solar power to create metamorphosis and transformation in your life. And boy, didn't you need to hear that this week. There's some of you that just really needed to have that planted in your brain this week, because it's been too long since you felt that way about yourself. And you need to feel that way again about yourself. And this week is the week you can take that back up and remember the truth of who you are. And for some of you, this is no small thing. I feel like this is a big boost card for myself this week, and bringing me into memories of times where I've really had tremendous solar power, if you will, and it helps us to remember what we're capable of so that we can move above and beyond that which we remember into even more grand places of expression, which this card is giving us that springboard into if we use it that way. I feel that there's some of us in our community that are going to be using the sun for months to come as that reminder. So you might be one of those people that goes online and grabs an image of the sun, whether it's one of the cards from either the Wildwood representation or the Rider-Waite presentation, and you make a color copy of the card and put it in your journal as a reminder so that you can come back to that, because some of us are really going to be working with the sun ongoing, because it is something that I feel like some of you are sustaining. I don't want to use the word, when I say dark forces, I don't mean that, in a scary way. It's just like some of us are plodding through a lot of heavy stuff. And the sun is a reminder that, no season lasts forever. And the sun is a very regenerating personality for us. And remember on the Rider-Waite deck, that image of the infant or the baby or the new birth, that innocence and harnessing, if you will, or letting it harness the movement in your life with a sense of playfulness and a sense of innocence and a sense of newness, somewhat like the Fool or the Wanderer in our decks, where we have that sense of adventure, excitement, and anticipation without being jaded, as we become more mature in life and adults, and as we age and move along our journey, we can tend to get jaded and forget about the effervescent nature of life. And spring is a great reminder for that, isn't it? Because it's like new things are born every day, and what an excitement to go out into your garden or take a drive and see, oh wow, now the daffodils are up this week and I can see the beginnings of the tulips, or some of the new songbirds have come back, and on and on and on. So, if you can get yourself into the mode of the simple appreciation of all of this new life that comes forth as a direct result of the turning of the wheel and of the sun getting more powerful and us moving in the wheel of the year, through spring and into summer, and all of these wonderful growth opportunities and new beginnings and births that are available to us if we kind of just get in that groove, and work with that solar power. So I feel that for a lot of us, this is really like a deep nourishment we need to take in and really absorb and let it do its work, let it work its magic within our bones, within our souls and our hearts, and to really let it enliven, awaken, lighten us, give us that soul nutrition that we need as those of us that are working through, some of those more difficult chapters of life where they're certainly imbued with a lot of potent learning experiences, life-changing, big letting goes, big agendas of redefinition of life's path and how we want to serve in this world. But knowing that, it's really important to have that balance of the nourishment and the solar energy, that very masculine, action-oriented, but at the same time nourishing energy that some of us are being called to really just let it soak in this week. So for those of you that are in that place, again, as always, create the time for it, even if it's just you think about it a little bit each day, and maybe take a couple of deep breaths of being in the moment, being aware, and receiving that. Sometimes that can be enough to even switch that mode so that you even advance further. Once, we have like a spoonful, oh yeah, right, I remember. And so you can continue to kind of set that theme throughout your day. So see what you can do about that this week to really let the solar energy nourish you, warm you, strengthen you. It feels like this warming tonic for us this week. And of course, hopefully where you live, the sun will shine for you this week, and you can go out and have that kind of face-to-face contact with the sun too, and just let it do what it does. It's so healing and so soothing, and it just feels really good to be out in the sun. So give yourself that opportunity and meditate with that energy and see what it wants to help you with this week. See how it wants to foster growth opportunities for you this week. So in your journal, or when you're going out walking or hiking or biking or kayaking or whatever it is that you're doing this week, even if you're commuting and work, back and forth to work, a lot of you will commute while the sun is still up and it's not dark. So still remember that there's plenty of opportunities to engage with this wonderful and powerful energy. So with that being said, I'm going to stop for this week and hope that the words and the messages encoded within these cards will be received fully, that you'll really be able to soak in and appreciate the energies of the sun and the sun of life, the sun in the Rider-Waite deck and the sun of life in the Wildwood Tarot, and to bask in all the inner radiance that you have, and also, as always, to share that with others in your own tribe or community. So with that being said, again, I hope that you all have a wonderful week in the sun, and I'll look forward to seeing you. And if you're not a member of the community yet, know you can subscribe to www.circlemagica.com/subscribe to become a member of the community and to receive these Magical Monday musings every Monday in your email inbox, so that you can work with us as a community and on your own every week and learn and grow your spiritual path using these two decks of the tarot, and also with the intuitive interpretations that I bring in with them. So I'm looking forward to hearing your comments, whether you text or email or post something on my Facebook page, which is just at Deb D'Onofrio, and hearing about how the sun is a companion and a teacher and a healer for you this week. So I will wish you a magical and powerful week, and look forward to being here again with you next week. Blessed be.